Ministers, Madam Speaker, thank you very much. CS, I first of all want to say that I'm happy to see you. I'm also happy that I've listened to you carefully and I've listened you answer the questions intelligently and professionally. Keep it up. I wanted to say that the responsibility of you making sure that Kenya keeps maintaining the name of being a tourist destination is up to you. But I would like to persuade you as you are in the cabinet, because tourism does not exist in outer space. It exists in an environment where the public or whoever that is coming to tour in your country, they want to come and find a country that is peaceful, a country that is offering basically services that are valuable, services that are quantifiable, and experiences that are magic. But with the number of corruption scandals and the noises we are having in our country, I don't think many tourists will want to come to this country. So I would like to ask you, Madam CS, that I hope that when you're in your cabinet meetings, you will talk to the president. Tell him we respect him. Tell him we want him to govern our country peacefully. Tell him that he must make sure there is no corruption in tourism.
Senator Onyonka,
Madam
what
Chair,
is the question?
the question is,
Because you have started a different
I
trajectory.
was preparing my ground, but because you have guided me, I
Yes,
will,
please
I
be
will,
guided.
I will
Just
say,
ask the question direct.
Madam CS, do you intend to introduce any route, touristic route coming out from other than the Mara, other than people going to, like I've had, the obvious touristic areas? Are you intending to create certain routes or certain events and certain marketing strategies to make sure that tourism goes up to Nandi County, tourism goes up to Kisii, we go to Trans Nzoia, and all the other areas where tourists normally don't go? And what is it that you would want your ministry to suggest that can be done around the lakeside area, particularly Kisumu, Homa Bay, and the Migori County governments? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Shadarike Samson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mine to the CS will be very simple. One is that Rift Valley counties like Anbot, Kericho, Kisumu, Nandi, Bomet, Kisii, Nyamira, we are the home of sports. What is the strategy of the ministry, through you, Madam Speaker, and to the CS, on enhancing sport tourism? Because we have legends of sports like Eliud Kipchoge, Faith, Faith, Faith the Maestro, of course, Faith Kipyegon, Amos Kipruto, among others, who, when people from across the world would want to visit, is their way of enhancing sports tourism by establishing maybe sports tourism centers and areas, so that when tourists visit, they can also, because Kenya is known as a home of athletics and other sports, what is the strategy of ensuring? And in conclusion, Chair, it tied up with that question, in sports tourism, this Western circuit, it is one question, Madam Speaker. This Western
yes, I'm
circuit,
about to ask why you're asking two questions.
it is co-joined like CMS twins, Madam Speaker. It is co-joined like in this Western circuit, alongside my colleagues, we have huge potential tourism, apart from sports and even animals like Ingwal Swamp in Chesumei sub-county. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kip Koril William Cheptumo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to join my colleagues in thanking the CS for articulating the issues before this House. Madam Speaker, there has been a serious problem in the country about the conflict between the wildlife and the Kenyan people, especially in the game reserves, in the national reserves, and so on. Madam Speaker, in Baringo County, we have a game reserve called Cap Norak. And I'm happy the director, KWS, has been there before. And this has caused a lot of conflict, Madam Speaker. When the former CS came here, I raised the same issue, and he was not able to give satisfactory answer. Madam CS, is there a way, not only in Baringo, but across the country, where you have MOUs between the residents of the area where the game reserves are and the KWS institution, so that then there is some understanding? Because the residents in those areas, their livelihood is livestock, and sometimes they need some grazing, areas, especially at a time when there's no rain. So I wanted CS to really, and I'm happy the director is here. What arrangements do you have to ensure that you reduce the conflict between the people of Kapnorak area, where the Kapnorak Game Reserve is established, and the KWS, so that we minimize the loss of the people around there, because livestock is their only livelihood.
Honorable CS, you can respond to those questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and members. I commit to follow up the case of compensation for Marsabit and get the finer details. But I want to say that human-wildlife conflict and the compensation, since I joined the ministry, is a daily conversation that is being given the importance it deserves. My principal secretary, not a day ends without having a discussion on compensation, human-wildlife conflict, the competition for resources, what we need to do for communities. I want to assure, as we go on with the work that we have been given, we are giving that the highest priority. In regard to diversification of tourism destinations and the products that we have, we are launching the Western Circuit on Friday, but in total we have 9 identified circuits covering all the regions of Kenya, so that we can unveil and promote the products each area has, each county has, so that we have sustainable tourism, and we have many more products that tourists can enjoy. The question by honorable member from Nandi County. Yes, sports tourism is an important pillar in the strategy that we are implementing. Quite a lot of activities are lined up and others have taken place. For example, the great athletes we have in Kenya will be the tourism ambassadors, sports tourism ambassadors. We know that plans for Etain Training Institute to also have foreign athletes going to Etain, and partnering with the Ministry of Sports, so that under the Magical Kenya, every sports event can have a tourism angle. But for now is to confirm that it is a strategic pillar in the strategy we are implementing. In regard to the question asked by the honorable member from Baringo, we have several MOUs that have been signed between KWS and county governments And we have one between, that is between the county governments and KWS on behalf of the people of that county. And a lot of activity is being done between the counties and KWS. And I look forward to working with the leaders. We do know that this human-wildlife conflict is basically caused by competition for resources, and especially water, pastures. There is a lot of lack of water, adequate water to cover both human and wildlife. And we want to put a lot of focus on the provision of water so that human can have enough water and animals can have water to reduce the competition. And Honorable Speaker, like I have affirmed, human-wildlife conflict is highest in our priority and even in our agenda. It is an item that we are reporting to the highest level, even at the cabinet meetings. And in days to come, we do hope that with the operationalization of county wildlife compensation committees, and with our resolve to look for diversified resource mobilization ways, we will be able to tackle the pending compensations and going forward, reducing the conflicts so that we can have more coexistence rather than the conflicts. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.